Meet Jane. She is a well-behaved Brahmachari housewife, waiting patiently for her husband at home. Meet Paramahamsa, Jane's husband, a Brahmachari businessman, always happy about life. Every night, without fail, Parma comes home to Jane and they eat dinner together. Not only are they faithful, but healthy together as Brahmacharis. They sleep together in heart, but physically in separate beds. They travel the world together and enjoy true love. No need for the senses, as they have both learned that the senses are limited. Paramahamsa learned that the hard way before he took his vow. He was married to Brandy Doodle, an Instagram model who left him for Old Dude, because Old Dude had more money at the time. Now, Parma is a billionaire, and Brandy Doodle only wishes that she had done better to him, as Old Dude left her for this chick because she's younger. This example, although slightly embellished and cheesy for entertainment purposes, is exactly how you would want to approach a relationship in Brahmacharya. Welcome back to Akhanda. Let's imagine a life where you can experience deep love and connection without losing yourself. A life where you can balance intimacy and personal growth. This is the journey to balanced love, embracing Brahmacharya in relationships. Brahmacharya, often misunderstood as celibacy, is actually a sacred practice of channeling sexual energy towards spiritual growth. It's about finding harmony and a higher purpose. Celibacy, on the other hand, is about not engaging in sexual activity. Practitioners of celibacy are restraining themselves. I don't promote celibacy at all. In fact, I think celibacy is harmful, as it can entail restraining yourself without sublimation of the energy. Sexual energy is the most powerful energy, and it will find a way out. And if not channeled to the right pathway, and if one is just restraining themselves, then they may suffer from various physiological and psychological maladies. Brahmacharya, on the other hand, is all about sublimation of all of your sexual impulses. Instead of restraining and suffering, you are sublimating and creating magnificent things both materially and spiritually with all this energy. But, for the most part, Brahmacharya is equivocated with bachelorhood. After all, the proponents of Brahmacharya were all bachelors, right? Actually wrong. Many of the Indian sages who were Brahmacharians were married. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Baba Nima Karoli, to name a few. Now that isn't to say that they were lost in their senses. They were enlightened and thus had risen above their senses. It is a known fact that Ramakrishna slept in a separate room from his wife, and that Baba Nima Karoli was in his spiritual ashram away from his family most of the time, but would also fully meet his duties as a father and a husband. His disciples note that he would leave for months at a time to tend to his family, but would manifest in their hearts in a way that none of the devotees noticed he was even missing. That said, relationships in Brahmacharya can be a slippery slope, especially for new aspirants. But contrary to most, I won't recommend you break up with your girlfriend. I would break her the news that from now on you will not be sleeping in the same bed, and at this point, one of two things will happen. A, she breaks up with you and you're better off without her anyways, so let her go. Or B, she agrees and stays, at which point you know you have a keeper, and don't tell her, but if this lasts the next year or two and she behaves, you may want to marry her. Most women today won't stand to this test, and if she does, you are lucky. Don't let her go. If she agrees, from now on you will not have sex or kiss or anything that would cause sexual thoughts or arousal. You will see her as the divine mother goddess Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa, and you will together embark on this spiritual path in true love, evading the senses completely. When you marry, if you choose to have sex, it will only be to make children. For if you do it like this, you are a true Akhanda Brahmachari in marriage. And if she leaves you, I'm sorry, and our family here at Akhanda will support you, but you are better off without her. Do this single until you realize, at least, that is more important anyways. And also, those who do this married, especially in this day and age, have a huge uphill climb in comparison to bachelors on this path. Ideally, you would be single on this path. Most of you will, as only a few women in this day and age will follow that course. and even fewer will pass the test of time. If not, and she does, and you are married, you need to have separate bedrooms as Parma and his wife did. You cannot open yourself to any room for weakness, because as soon as you do, you will have your downfall. In relationships, Brahmacharya requires us to first establish a strong foundation of self-love and self-awareness. It's about knowing who we are, knowing what our boundaries are, and having a clear vision of what we want. If you have a lifelong partner and you do this together, you will truly enjoy being selfless and putting her needs in front of yours. Still though, it will be much harder like this, so be prepared for an uphill climb. I'm just being honest. It can be done, anything is possible if you put your mind to it, but you just have to be aware that temptation can easily lead you astray. And you may have the false argument at some point that you will stop your vow in marriage and commence again in old age. Do not think those faulty thoughts, as you won't have the physical or mental energy for the spiritual practice in old age. It took many millions of lives to get this human birth. Embrace your inner avatar. Do not let this life go to waste. There is a reason most would recommend you stay single on this path. And to be clear, I'm not recommending either way. You need to figure out your own scenario. I'm just saying what is possible. By embracing Brahmacharya, you learn to detach from your partner's needs and emotions, while remaining compassionate. This will allow you to nourish your individual growth while also nurturing the relationship. Brahmacharya will also teach you to embrace purity and sacredness in all relationships. It's about experiencing love beyond just physical gratification, as a soulful connection that transcends the boundaries of the body. It may not be easy, but it is possible. It requires self-discipline, self-control, and a commitment to personal growth. But the rewards are immense for both parties. By embracing Brahmacharya and relationships, we can experience a love that is liberating, allowing us to evolve both individually and together. So if you have taken a vow but are in a relationship, I've provided a clear path for how to proceed that can nourish your spiritual growth and that of your partners. You don't know how she will react, leave that up to God. You just do what's in your control and turn the rest over to God, in this and in everything. In doing this, you may discover a new level of connection and fulfillment. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all the bells and whistles if you're into my content. I'll see you next time.